made clear to a lot of people that I was right all along. They're finding out what I've known since the beginning of time. That James Corden is an unentertaining whom is an absolute detriment to everything he's in. His presence makes the media that he infests worse. He is the worst part of the movies he is in. He is this miasma of unentertainment. The antithesis.
Have you ever seen someone act all sweet and friendly for years, only to finally get caught showing their real face? Now imagine that, multiplied by 1,000,000, with some fake laughs, cringy sing-alongs, and a heavy dose of Hollywood entitlement. That's the story of James Corden's crash and burn moment. This wasn't just another celebrity getting cancelled over a one-time slip-up or a misunderstood joke. Nope. This was a slow-brewing downfall that had been building for years, decades even. People had been whispering behind the scenes saying, "That guy's a nightmare," while he strutted around pretending to be everyone's favorite nice guy. Watching it all come back around felt like the internet finally serving up some justice. James Corden didn't just fall from grace. He tripped over his own ego, rolled straight downhill, and somehow blamed everyone else while he was tumbling. The irony is wild. But to really get why people felt this collapse was long overdue, we've got to rewind to when James was actually liked. Hard to believe now, but yeah, there was a time. Back in 2007, he co-created Gavin and Stacey with Ruth Jones, and that show absolutely blew up across the UK. It was funny, warm, and relatable, the kind of show that made people feel good. James played Smithy, loud, childish, sometimes annoying, but still somehow lovable. Audiences couldn't get enough. Practically overnight, he went from a struggling actor to a national favorite. That was his golden age. The point where a little humility could have kept him loved forever. But well, we all know how that story turned out. But according to the people who worked closest with him, that humble vibe didn't last long. Fame hit James Corden like a speeding train, and his attitude switched up fast. Co-stars started noticing the change right away. Rob Brydon, yes, that Rob Brydon, even had to pull James aside and tell him to chill out before things got worse. Even his own sisters warned him not to let success twist him into that guy.
The people that haven't seen my belly, is there anyone who hasn't got a... It's just there. Okay, can we get a taxi ready, please?
When your own family is checking your ego before you've even hit your prime, that's not a random coincidence. That's straight up foreshadowing. But instead of taking their advice, James leaned deeper into the fame and entitlement. He tried to turn his Gavin and Stacey fame into sketch shows and movie roles, but one by one, the projects tanked. Horn and Corden got ripped apart by critics, and lesbian vampire killers turned into a full-blown industry punchline. The reviews weren't just bad, they were savage. Now, most people would take a hit like that as a lesson, maybe even a wake-up call, but not James. He got defensive, acting like every bit of criticism was some personal attack. Every flop, somebody else's fault. That "it's never me" mindset became his trademark, and it followed him everywhere he went. Then came the 2010 Glamour Awards, the night that should have humbled him for good. Legendary actor Sir Patrick Stewart called him out right there on stage for acting distracted and unprofessional. And this wasn't some random hater online. This was a respected icon, politely trying to keep things real. But instead of owning up and apologizing, James snapped. He mocked Stewart in front of the entire audience. The whole room felt that tension explode, and it was the first public sign that his ego was officially out of control. That clash with Patrick Stewart didn't end James Corden's career, but it exposed something huge. He simply couldn't handle criticism without snapping back. Fast forward to 2014, and CBS made one of the strangest moves in late-night TV history. They handed The Late Late Show to James Corden. Most Americans were like, who even is this guy? Craig Ferguson had just left. Expectations were low, but CBS had a secret weapon ready to go: carpool karaoke. And surprisingly, it worked. Watching famous people sing off-key in traffic, it was chaotic, awkward, and somehow hilarious. Big names like Adele, Paul McCartney, and Lady Gaga hopped in the car, and the clips went mega viral, billions of views pouring in. Suddenly, James Corden was everywhere, hosting award shows, landing movie roles, voicing animated characters, performing on Broadway. You name it, he was doing it.
I was sitting, I can see your belly. And that was right over there at the back of the room. These people down here, you know.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on. You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
America completely bought into the image. The harmless, goofy British guy who just wanted everyone to have a laugh. He wasn't edgy, he wasn't controversial. He was safe, clean, and perfect for the corporate-friendly version of late-night TV. But behind that cheerful grin and over-the-top charm, the people who actually worked with him were seeing a very different side. Crew members started sharing quiet stories. Writers whispered about what it was really like behind the curtain. Staff noticed patterns. How his tone changed depending on who he was talking to, how he treated people below him, and how fast his mood flipped when things didn't go his way. Then came the moment that shattered the illusion for so many fans. During a segment on Jimmy Kimmel Live, James was asked to name just 2 of his own camera operators, people he worked with every single day. The look on his face said it all. He couldn't do it. That one question cracked the nice guy act wide open. These were people who helped make his entire show possible. The crew who worked long hours behind the scenes, and he couldn't name a single one of them. Not even one. The whole room went dead silent. Jimmy Kimmel tried to play it off with a joke, but James just froze, completely stuck. That awkward moment said everything. It wasn't about forgetting a name or two. It was about how little he actually valued the people around him, unless they were famous or could help him climb higher. After that, the mask started slipping faster than ever.
And kind of watched James on the set of League of Their Own rehearse. No audience, no other panel members, just him on his own. And he got it came to a point where he had to read from a card, and he had the card up like that, and he was reading from it. And it was kind of a joke in there. And he kind of just like, I remember, he just looked at it like, that's not funny. That's not funny. What? He was like, that's shit. We have to rewrite that. We have to rewrite this. And I don't know, maybe he was having a bad day, I thought, and the writing's just not been up to scratch. But I definitely thought, man, somebody wrote that. Not nice.
In 2017, just days after the Harvey Weinstein scandal exploded, James thought it was a good idea to make jokes about it at a public event. The audience didn't laugh. The internet definitely didn't laugh. People were shocked, and then Rose McGowan called him out publicly, labeling him exactly what insiders had been saying for years: tone-deaf, self-centered, clueless. It was brutal, but it wasn't new. Everyone behind the curtain had already seen that side of him. Then came the fatal move. The moment that pushed everything over the edge. James decided to do a Reddit AMA thinking it would boost his image, but wow, did that backfire. The comment section turned into a full-on expose. Waiters, production crew, assistants, writers, even random strangers flooded in with first-hand stories about how he treated people. And the wild part? Every single one painted the same picture. Arrogant, dismissive, entitled. The internet didn't just cancel him, it dissected him in real time. Entitled rude, dismissive, and totally unaware of how his actions hit people. That's how everyone described James. One comment summed it up perfectly, calling him a massively entitled nightmare. He answered a few safe Reddit questions, then disappeared. But by then, it was over. The internet wasn't wondering if he was awful, but how he'd hidden it this long. His downfall wasn't one huge scandal. It was death by 1,000 stories. Once people felt safe speaking out, the truth flooded in. Crew members, fans, and even waiters shared stories that all sounded the same. James loved the spotlight when things went right, but ran the second it didn't. Then came Cats. The movie so bad it became legend. James played Bustopher Jones, a CGI cat with human hands, and audiences were horrified. Critics destroyed it, memes exploded, and instead of owning it, James distanced himself, admitting he never even watched it. Imagine being that embarrassed by your own film. But the prom hit his reputation even harder. James, a straight man, played a flamboyant gay character built on tired stereotypes. People weren't amused, they were offended. The performance felt tone-deaf and out of touch, proving once again that James could dish out jokes but couldn't take accountability when things went wrong. Critics slammed The Prom as tone-deaf, and LGBTQ+ viewers felt mocked. Instead of listening or taking accountability, James doubled down, saying people were being too sensitive. He completely missed the point. Again, every time he faced criticism, empathy vanished. It was the same old pattern: deflect, deny, and act like everyone else was overreacting.
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go.
But the real turning point, the moment that officially locked in his villain reputation, didn't happen on a set or a red carpet. It happened in a restaurant in 2022. The owner of Balthazar, one of New York's most famous spots, publicly banned James Corden, not quietly behind closed doors, publicly. He called James the most abusive customer my staff has ever dealt with in 25 years. That's not a small statement. That's decades of experience talking. The story blew up instantly. According to witnesses, James allegedly snapped at staff because his wife's omelet was made wrong. Twice. He supposedly yelled at servers, accused them of being incompetent, and made the entire place tense. This wasn't just a bad day. This was a restaurant owner putting his reputation on the line to defend his employees, something you don't see often in that industry. When the backlash hit, James tried to save face, claiming the story was exaggerated, that he didn't yell, that he just expressed frustration. But the damage was already done. Once that story dropped, more poured in. Flight attendants, hotel staff, TV crews, drivers, all telling eerily similar stories from different years, different cities, same behavior. Some even said they'd seen him ignoring his own family in public while snapping at workers nearby. The illusion of the nice guy was gone for good, replaced by a picture no PR team could fix. People behind the scenes had plenty to say. Some claimed James treated his assistants like furniture, barely acknowledging them at all. Directors called him one of the most difficult hosts they'd ever worked with, while writers accused him of lowballing pay and trying to take credit for ideas that weren't even his. And just like that, the nice guy image collapsed. Because here's the truth. James Corden wasn't taken down by one big scandal. He was taken down by consistency. Every story matched, every account lined up perfectly. Once people started really paying attention, they realized the red flags had been there all along. Even the Late Late Show started feeling off. Carpool Karaoke stopped hitting like it used to. The fun felt forced, the laughter sounded fake, and guests just didn't look as excited to be there anymore. The magic that once made him a hit was gone.
For whatever it's worth, I like your belly, so. But I would pay to see Sir Patrick Stewart dying on stage any day, so.
And when the viral moments dried up, all that was left was him, the real James. Viewers saw it, the internet saw it, and Hollywood definitely saw it too. Slowly but surely, the energy shifted, ratings dropped, clips underperformed, and industry insiders started quietly backing away. No big statements, no dramatic cancellations, just silence. And that silence said it all. By April 2023, James announced he was leaving The Late Late Show. He framed it as wanting more time with family and a new chapter, talking about peace and balance. But let's be real, when your reputation tanks and nobody wants to work with you anymore, family time starts sounding a lot like code for exit strategy. His final episode aired with big-name guests, polished smiles, and a few laughs, but it didn't feel like a celebration. It felt like relief. Like everyone, from the crew to the audience, was just ready to close the book and move on. And the most telling detail, CBS didn't replace him. No new host, no reboot, no revival, they just ended it. That's Hollywood's ultimate silent insult. When your exit doesn't leave a hole, it leaves a sigh of relief. So why does James Corden's downfall hit so differently? Because it wasn't random, unfair, or exaggerated. It was the kind of ending that felt earned. We've all crossed paths with someone like him. The coworker who's all smiles in public but nasty behind closed doors, the one who takes the credit, dodges the blame, and plays the victim when things go south. James didn't lose his career because people were too harsh. He lost it because the act finally fell apart. The charm, the jokes, the nice guy mask, all gone. What was left was the real him. And once the world saw that, nobody wanted to look away or look back. His fall wasn't a tragedy. It was karma taking its time but landing right on schedule. But what about you? Do you think James Corden was just misunderstood, or did he truly earn every bit of this downfall? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into celebrity chaos, influencer meltdowns, and the internet's wildest downfalls. Because this kind of drama, it never really ends.